Good morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I like, and a little bit of life thrown in. Today is FlossTube number 177. It is Sunday, January 29th. It is turning out to be sort of a gray, dreary day outside. We are expecting rain sometime today and possibly tomorrow as well. The weather here has been actually pretty nice all week. High 60s going into the low 70s, but now it's popped down again today. And as I said, we're expecting rain, and it definitely looks like it. It's very, very gloomy and you know, gray looking outside. Looks cold outside, and I'm not gonna go out there, but that's how it looks. I want to say welcome. If this is your first time finding my channel, then I hope that you like what you see, want to hit like and subscribe and all the good stuff. If you really like what you see, I do have a super thanks button down below. It looks like a little kind of dollar sign and a heart, and it is there for monetary tips. So if that is something that you like to do or that you want to do for me, it will be totally appreciated. Of course, it's never expected, but it's always a nice surprise when that happens. And that money just goes basically right back into the channel to pay for Zooms. And because I do have a monthly Zoom subscription so that I can do Zooms for the channel and for all of my community, and for shipping when I do shipping things. So speaking of Zooms, our next Stitchy Zoom meetup, or Zoom Stitchy meetup, however you want to say it, is going to be Saturday, February 18th. So that would be 2 weeks from yesterday. No, 3 weeks from yesterday. I think, yes, 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, on Saturday, we will be having a Zoom. I'm doing it 5:30 California time. So adjust accordingly. Hopefully I'll see a lot of you guys there. We always have a really good time. It's very casual. It's very basically just sitting and chit-chatting and stitching on something. Some people actually don't even stitch, so if you're not a stitcher, don't stitch. We've had people who did other crafts, and we've had people who folded their laundry, and you know, so it's whatever you want to do. I have a kitty walking through my legs right now. He always, I get on the Zooms and he's like, why are you not paying attention to me? Why are you looking at your phone and staring at the wall? So yeah, so Zoom on the 18th, mark your calendars. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Yesterday was Logan's birthday, so happy birthday to my oldest nephew. He is 15 now, which just blows my mind. Such a young adult now. He's getting to be very, very, very much a young adult, I guess is what I want to say. It's really kind of cool to see him grow up. And it's funny because when I go over there now, whatever time passes between, all of a sudden it's like, ooh, he got a little taller there. Oh, his voice is like really deep all of a sudden. So it's kind of interesting to see him turning into a man before my very eyes. So happy birthday, Logan. Now, those of you who've been following my channel know for a while that the day after Logan's birthday is not so happy. It's today, and it is the anniversary of my mom's passing. So she passed away from complications of COVID, etc. January 29th of 2021. So today's the second anniversary. I'm doing okay. You know, I had kind of little pockets of sadness that hit me all week, and I'm sure we'll continue to do that. I've been having kind of weird dreams about my mom. I think that's probably pretty normal too, but it's weird because I'll wake up and I feel like the dream was weird, so I feel kind of disturbed, and then I feel sad because I miss my mom, and it's all a, you know, a weird thing, but it is what it is. My dad passed away on February 2nd, so they were very close together as far as the dates of their death anniversaries, whatever. I did light my Yortzeit candle yesterday, and it's over there. I'm not gonna pull it over here, but I have an unlit one to show you guys, just so that you know what I'm talking about. So this is a Yortzeit candle or memorial candle. You can get them, you know, lots of different ones. I just got them on Amazon. This one happens to be olive oil, so it's a little bit softer. They're basically made so that they burn for 24 to 26 hours. And you just light them and say a prayer and you leave it lit. So I have that going in honor of both my mom and dad. Now normally you would do it, you know, on the anniversary. So my mom's is on the English anniversary. But I kind of lit it for both of them because since I don't work from home and I'm not home all day, you know, I don't want to leave a burning candle. But since I have two, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find another date that is in the middle, again on the weekend, that is close to their Hebrew death anniversaries. I have it. I looked it up because, of course, which I explained in my whole Flossnica series, the Hebrew calendar is based on a lunar calendar, not a solar calendar like what we use now, which is why like holidays and stuff move up into the calendar. Well, of course, it would be the same for this type of thing. The day that they passed, the English day, like for my mom, was January 29th, but the Hebrew day was something else, and so it will be at a different time of the year, and both of them are in the middle of February sometime, so I might light another one around those dates. Okay, so anyway, I don't have a lot of like preamble stuff to tell you today, but I have a lot of things to show you, so we might as well just get going. So little golden books. I did do a little bit of like preliminary work, and I realized that probably for a while the stuff I have to show you on my little golden book project is not so exciting because it's like components, and then when I start to put stuff together it might get a little bit more interesting. But what I did this week, and I didn't actually finish all of them, I did 7, and I have, I think, 15 picked out, which is more than the number of books I'm doing. But in addition to the books I'm doing for my Flossnica winners, I also have 2 books that were in the works for a couple other friends of mine, and then I had started to do ones that actually had sort of a Christmas theme, so I figured I might as well do them, and then maybe I'll give them away next year. So I kind of am doing all of this at one time. So one of the components of my books that I have put in, and everybody who sees these, when I've given them a book or shown them a book, this is one of the things that everybody really loves. So, and it's kind of this maze page where it's done using two papers, and it folds out, you know, and it's a lot of cute little places to put fun tack things, and you can write a ton of notes there, and it's just kind of a cool little thing. So I started making those. Oops. Oh, okay, my book's on the ground. Hopefully it won't matter. I started making those. I have this really pretty marble paper, so I just decided to use the marble paper for all the outsides, and then I have sort of a metallic-y or shimmery cardstock in lots of different colors, so I'm using those for all the inside ones. So it's basically just cutting a bunch of the rectangles to be folded, and then I'll glue them all later. But I did 7 of them. They were sitting in a stack, so I haven't gotten to all the purple ones, which I have a bunch of purple ones because it turns out that a lot of the people who won enjoy the color purple. So I have a lot of purple ones to do still. So that's the little golden book work I did. I just did some cutting of the papers on Friday when I was on the phone. I did like a Zoom call with my friend, well, actually 2 friends. And so while we were chit-chatting for a couple hours, I cut paper. So that is what I did on that. So this week I have some exciting things to show you, I think. I have 2 FFOs to show you, and then I have a finish, which I'm sure you guys already know because I'm sure I put it in the title. But the first FFO was the present that Stacy and I made for my friend Tracy. It was the little chipmunk that we made, and I put it in one of these sort of rubberized frames. This one's kind of not quite a circle. It's a little ovally, but not super ovally, but I thought it worked really perfectly. And then, as I said, when I was stitching on it, I tried to put our initials, and it just looked so horrible. I couldn't stand it. So I just made a little note on the back on the felt, and that's it. So I just put it in the hoop. I did a couple running stitches to pull the excess fabric taut, and then I just put some felt on the back. This is just self-sticky felt, and I don't glue it when I'm sending this to when I'm sending these kind of things to Tracy, because just in case they loosen in shipping, I don't want it to be a real hardship for her to take it apart and fix it. So if it is sticky back, so it's sticking, but if it starts coming up, then she can glue it herself. But yeah, so that was finished at the end of last year for Tracy. Cece basically stitched the chipmunk. I stitched all the leaves and did the back stitching. So now that I finally have it done, I need to remember to take it to work tomorrow and mail it. The second thing that I got FFO'd, which is appropriate for today because of my mom, is I did stick the Always My Mother Forever in My Heart into the frame. Now, it is behind glass, which is not usually what I would do. I didn't realize when I ordered this frame that the glass doesn't come out. And in fact, the back doesn't even come completely off. It unhooks from 3 sides, and then this side is attached. So, I basically just had to stick it in there. And I put a little backing on it, and then just kind of got it in there. You can see it's actually sticking out a little bit, but it's fine. It's in there good. I don't want to get my ring light. I normally probably wouldn't have put this behind glass because of the butterfly, but it's okay. And I think it looks pretty. And I think my mom would have loved this frame. So it is pretty. Okay. Now, I don't have a lot of whips to show you this week because I haven't finished. It's not gonna be a big surprise. You guys have seen me working on this for actually the last 3 months, but dun da da! I finished Catnap Faye. I said that I didn't want to. She looks really bright. I gave her a little bath yesterday, so that probably helped get any kind of like surfacey, dusty stuff off, and she looks nice and bright now. I said I didn't want to work on her monogamously, so I worked on her like every other day. And then I got to where I knew I could finish it this week, and I was a little bit like obsessive because I really wanted to get her off my whip list, and I especially wanted to have something to put on in my description box of finishes. I'm so used to putting on a lot of finishes at the end of last year. Having that section in my description box empty has bothered me all month, so I think she looks really pretty. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with her yet. I don't know if I'm going to frame her, make her into a pillow, or she's going to sit around for 2 years in a bag, which is likely. I did notice that when I took her out of the Q-Snap, because basically she's just been in a Q-Snap for the whole time, it was a little bit dirty down here, discolored, and I did wash it, but it didn't totally come out. I did a gentle wash, so I figured that part's probably going to get cut off anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. I wanted to get any dirt off of the actual stitched part, and I think she looks really good. So this was a quick stitch charted by Heaven and Earth Designs by Nadia Tate. I did it without the background. I just took the background out myself. And when I was working on it, man, it seemed huge, and now I hold it up and it's this teeny tiny little thing that still took me 2 years, 3 years. I started this probably summer of 2019. So 3-something years. But I love her. I hope you guys like her too. So this is my second HAED finish. And even though it's a quick stitch and small, a HAED is nothing to sneeze at as far as getting a finish on it. It's intense. Okay, so because I was working on that every other day, I only have 2 other whips to show you. I worked on Pinkie and Blue Boy, which are, this is my new year, new start for this year, charted by Artecy. Pinkie and Blue Boy by Thomas Gainsborough and Thomas Lawrence. And I say this every time, these are the originals have always been hung together in modern times, and but they were not painted at the same time. They are about 100 years apart in age, and they are at the Huntington Gardens and Museum, which I've seen because it's here in Southern California. So I've seen them in real life, and they were always hanging, little reproductions were always hanging in my mom's room, so I'm excited to have started them. I actually only worked on a bit of Pinkie this week, so I finished that diagonal. Blue Boy is smaller now, so I will finish that diagonal and then move on to Blue Boy maybe in the next couple days. So they're going to probably be sleeping for February. I mean, unless I just feel like pulling them out for some reason, but they aren't scheduled to be stitched on, although they are in March. But maybe I will try and get enough work on them so that they're even before they take a nap. And the other whip that I worked on is Mini Flower Kitty by Jeremiah Kentner. And I just did like that much. So this project I am noticing, and I guess because it's a mini, very, very confetti heavy at all times. So it's like slow going, but it's really enjoyable to stitch on. And then the other whip, I guess, is a whip to show you, which is going to be like a shocker because I haven't done this in so long, is I did a little bit of diamond painting. So I went ahead and I started working on some of these little diamond painting stickers that I got with the intention of using them in my little golden books, but I was enjoying actually the process of diamond painting. So I think I'm going to incorporate that a little bit back into my daily whip work. These stickers are easy because they're little and very portable. I do have a couple small Diamond Art Club kits that I might pull out, but actually I'm enjoying working on these stickers for now. So and actually I can mostly take the cover paper away. So the orange is completely done. I just thought these were cute. This one still has a few, it needs a few beads. This one needs the stem, and then I didn't finish the coconut yet, but I did that page. Now, of course, because these are sort of inexpensive, I mean, the diamonds are not going to be as sparkly or as beautiful as, you know, a something you would expect, you know, like a Diamond Art Club kind of kit. But it doesn't matter. I mean, it's still fun to do. I did work on something else. I'm trying to find it. Oh, here. I did just this heart, because I had red poured and I didn't want to pour it back, so I found that. So yes, I'll probably have like little diamond painting stickers to show you as time goes on, unless I decide to pull out one of my other actual real diamond paintings. But for right now, I think this is going to satisfy the diamond painting desire. Okay, so that is it for the stuff I worked on last week, which feels like not very much, but I spent a lot of time working on Catnap Faye. So, as I said, I didn't work on her every day in a row, but I did work on her every other day. And then I finished her yesterday. So actually I did work on her Friday too. So I think I worked on her Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And got her done. Got her done. Okay. So, next haul. I don't have any haul to show you that I got, but I do have stuff to show you that I got as a gift. So, I was talking to Melissa. She is a subscriber who has been joining my Zooms. So I've gotten to talk to her a little bit, and we were talking, she was on, I think, at the very beginning of my Zoom last time before anybody else got on there, and she said, you know, she goes, I have this chart, and then she saw it in kit form, so she bought the kit, so she ended up with 2 charts, and she's like, would you like the extra? And I'm like, of course I would. So she so kindly sent me Bella Filipinas Hummingbird Pixie. She's so cute. So I don't know when I would start her, because, you know, I have quite a few on the go right now and others kind of waiting. A lot of people have said, and it's true, that she's got a very kind of like 80s vibe. And I was in high school and college in the 80s, so I do not mind that at all. She's really pretty. So when I get my Autumn Equinox Pixie completed, maybe she'll be next. So I was expecting this from Melissa, but then she threw in a couple other things just because she's being a sweetie. So she sent me Country Companions, Ed Hedgehog in this Blooming Wonderful card kit. So I'm not sure exactly what is in here to stitch. I haven't opened it, but it's super cute. And then she sent me this little tiny modernist frame kit. This is a butterfly and I think a moth. I think that's a moth. Oh, they're both moths. Tiger moth and Atlas moth. And then they come with these little felt frame things. So those were, all 3 things were from Melissa. So that is really exciting. I'm super excited about the Hummingbird Pixie chart. I do love some Bella Filipina. Oh, and then I got a Hirschner's catalog that I just stuffed in here on the same day. Yeah, so thank you so much, Melissa. That was really, really nice of you to think of me in that way. And I will look forward to stitching on that eventually. Okay. So next thing I just kind of wanted to talk to you about was my February plans. Since we are here at the end of January, I'm trying really hard to do the Instagram, you know, beginning of the month and end of the month. And after this video is completed and uploaded so that my phone's free again, then I'm going to do the pictures and try and do the post. And I'll probably post today, even though there's a couple more days left in January, just because I have the time today. So if I get it done, I get it done. So I will do my post showing like the progress that I did in January, which I'm pretty pleased with. I mean, I got my goal, my finish ask was done, so I think that that was pretty successful. And then I got a nice little chunks of work on everything else. So February is Floral Fantasy. That is what the theme is. Anybody who would like to join me, please feel free to do that. So I thought I'd show you all the charts that are going to be part of that for me. And yeah. Okay, so I have 2 charts that for me are going to be a try and get it finished. So the first one is a leftover pattern from last year, and it is my Cute Lion Biscornu, which I'm doing not the same chart, but I'm doing a Biscornu with Dawn Duval, and we are using the hashtag Biscornu Beginner on this. So if you want to post something and have that hashtag attached to it, that would be great. This is my Cute Lion that I started in August because my birthday is August 15th, and so in August I always do a Black Cat birthday sal, and I always do some kind of a lion chart for my zodiac sign. So this is where I'm at on it. I just have to finish the 4th lion. Actually, what's the first one? I think this was the first one, so it's actually like this, but I have the 4th lion left to finish, and then the back, and then putting it together. So that is a goal for this month. And again, the hashtag for that one is Biscornu Beginner if you would like to join in on that. And then the second one, which will be like a start and finish this month, but I'm pretty sure I can get it done, is my Be My Own Valentine sal. Scissors in here. And I did explain, I think last week, all about why I do a Be My Own Valentine sal every year and why it's a bee and everything like that. This is the one I did last year. And of course I changed the wording on it to go with my channel. And this year's is sort of a companion piece. And I'm going to change the words on this one to Be My Own Valentine. But when I pulled flosses, I have the matching fabric, which I think is called Lavender Mist or Lavender something. I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. And it is probably a Lugana. When I pulled the flosses when I pulled the flosses, I was pulling them from both of them. So the greens and the browns and the yellow and everything were all the same. The only difference is one of them had blues and one of them had pinks. So these are the flosses that I'm using. And I recharted the words right here. And yeah, so I think it's going to be great. And I'm sure I could get this done this month. I did the other one in 1 month. I can do this one in 1 month as well. So that is my second chart for Floral Fantasy. Is that what I said it is? Floral Fantasy. And again, the hashtag for this is hashtag Be My Own Valentine Sal. And if you would like to join in with any kind of a bee pattern, then please do. I realized like last year,
I posted like the beginning of the SAL and I never posted the finish, so I'll have to do that this year. So yeah, so I'm expecting to have 2 finishes at the end of February. Okay. Then, in addition to those, I will be working on the mini flower kitty, which you guys just saw. And so pretty. Okay, mini flower kitty. And what else? Oops, I'm stacking stuff where I need to grab things. Okay, my autumn equinox pixie, I'm gonna pull her out for February. And at first I was like, well, but there's not really flowers. And then I realized she's a flower. I mean, she is a flower fairy. She's like a full-blown autumn rose. This is where I am with her. So, I mean, she needs her wings finished and her whole skirt finished and her legs. There's a lot to do on her. So I don't think she's going to get anywhere near finished. But we'll make a dent on what's left. Hey, Becky. Hi. Yeah, you like that I cleared off that bench for you, don't you? Okay. Next is Mouth of the Flower by Octavio Ocampo. Which I just think this chart is just so interesting and like clever. And this is on a 16 count, like Touch of Peach, I think is what it's called. It's just a plain Aida. You can tell that this is something I started very early in my stitching career because just the fabric is not probably as wild as I would pick now, but that is, yeah. At first thought that maybe there was holes in there, but no, it is just the color. So that's where I'm starting on this one. Fold it differently. Okay, now for the flower, I'm going to work on my little snapdragon. This is by Custom Crafts. It's designed by Diane Allaire. And I'm stitching this with Julie from Stitching at the Cabin. I mean, we're not really like selling it or anything like that. We just kind of both started it at the same time. And that is how far I am. So cute. Okay, trying to get something back in a pocket while on camera is a bit challenging. Okay. Not the flower, a blue bouquet, which is, what is that one? Here. This is called Blue Bouquet. I call it Blue Bouquet with Cat because this is a design works. The artist is Nene Thomas. I can show you the back because that's just the picture. Isn't that a baggy? I mean, it's really got a baggy typeface. But I am so far away from being anywhere near that cat. And this is on Pole Stitches fabric. I got like an eBay find that was like 4 pieces. Oh, here's my needle. It was sticking out. I got like 4 pieces of Pole Stitches fabric in a lot on eBay. Okay, there we go. So that's it, just the very top. These containers are not working for me today. Okay, and then I'm going to put my chatelaine in this project, which is the green Lace Garden. There's my awful picture. But, you know, floral fantasy, and there's a lot of flowers on this. In fact, I'm going to be getting into soon sort of these flowers here, which are really pretty. I don't know why I show you the picture closer because it doesn't show anything. But this is where I am so far. And I am enjoying this quite a bit. Okay. And last but definitely not least, I am going to have a new start of a Riolis kit. And I did decide to do the forget-me-nots. Somebody messaged me on Instagram, and they are going to stitch a forget-me-not pattern this month as well, kind of with me. It's not the same one, but they are stitching it for Alzheimer's, like in honor of their parent or grandparent who had Alzheimer's, because the forget-me-not is the flower representing Alzheimer's. And so I thought that was really kind of cool, and it's another reason to stitch this. My mom did not have Alzheimer's, but my grandmother did, very badly. She lived to a very ripe old age in her 90s, but her last like 10 years, she didn't really know who anybody was. And I just think I really like this pattern. I think it's really pretty. It is not necessarily my favorite of all the Riolis kits I got, but I do really like it, and it's a little bit different color scheme than anything else I have going right now. And so yeah, and also I was intrigued by this one just because it's a little bit smaller, and I feel like I can get it kind of started and done and then get another one going. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And I did it came on the sort of bobbin cards as they do with the acrylic floss, and I decided to go ahead and unbobbin them and put them on this floss drop because I really like the floss drop. And the one thing that I didn't really like about my last Riolis kit was unwinding the stupid thread. So I figured if I take the trouble at the beginning to unwind everything, this only has 11 colors, so it wasn't a very onerous task. But if I took the time to kind of unwind them at the beginning and put them on a floss card, that I would have a better experience doing it. So that's what I decided to do. But you can see kind of like how fuzzy these are. They're very light. And I like them. I've said that before. There's a lot of people who do not like the Riolis acrylic wool. Some people just don't like it. Some people can't use it because they have a wool allergy and it bothers their hands. But I do like it, so I am looking forward to starting on that one. And I'm sure I will start it sometime this week, and you will see that start next week. And it's just, the kit fabric is just a sort of oatmeal-y, sort of fiddler's cloth. It's the same thing that I did the Sweet William on, which is another reason I kind of liked it, because I thought they would go together because they have the same cloth. And anything that's just the plain white Aida, I'm going to end up dyeing or changing or something. I just don't really like plain white 14 count Aida. I don't like to work on it, and I don't like the way it looks. There was this little thing in here that I thought was interesting to share with you guys. It has a whole little discussion about the wool threads. And let's see, it says, attention, wool acrylic thread consists of a single strand wound around a cardboard organizer and does not need to be divided. Instead, you should choose 2 to 3 strands according to the instructions and stitch with them. Embroidery with wool acrylic threads looks more like 3D than with stranded cotton threads. Stranded cotton threads have a glossier look, and wool acrylic threads add volume to your cross stitch and help you mask imperfections in the embroidery with a great coverage. And then it says the whole palette of dark colors of wool acrylic threads is very deep and saturated, so there are some designs like animals or landscapes which look more attractive, vivid, and very close to the original. It also says that if you run out of the thread, you can get them by itself, and you can contact them in case of shortages, but I haven't run into that. It says wool acrylic threads are very smooth to touch. It's easy to stitch with even if you're inexperienced. And they are made in Italy, the threads. It says modern technologies give an opportunity to improve the quality of raw wool materials, adding acrylic to woolen yarn. These threads are made of 70% acrylic and only 30% of wool. Our wool acrylic threads are more resistant to abrasion, better preserve the color, and are less allergenic. Old traditions, new technologies, and our own experience have assured us in amazing quality of this material. So, again, a lot of people don't like them. I really do. I don't know that I'd want to stitch everything with them, but I definitely like, you know, I really like working on Sweet William, and I'm going to enjoy this one too. Okay, is that everything? Yes, I believe it is. So, yeah, so I am ready to close out January. I'm very happy that I got the finish that I wanted to get, and I enjoyed stitching on all the full coverage. I don't think that, you know, there's some people that basically only stitch full coverage, and they have a ton of them and they enjoy it. I enjoyed it a lot doing it for the month, but I got towards the end of the month where I'm kind of glad to be working on other things again. The one thing I will say, and this is me, I don't know that everybody has this feeling, but when I'm stitching on full coverage, I really feel like I need to have, you know, time and energy to do it, because it just seems like
it's a more fiddly process for me, and I'm sure it has to do with the way I stitch full coverage in my diagonals in each row and everything. It's not something that I feel like, okay, I just want to stitch for half an hour, let me pull it out. It's like too involved. So that's one thing that I realized about the full coverage for me is like, my normal evenings I stitch several hours, so that's not a problem. But if I'm just kind of like, oh, I just have, you know, half an hour before I need to go to bed, it's not something I want to pull out because it's just too involved, and I take out a bunch of needles, and it's just a bigger process. So that is something that I learned as far as me and full coverage, you know, because I don't ever like, you know, oh, I'll stitch one strand of black, or I'll stitch one strand of a color, which I can do on other type of projects, but I can't do that on my full coverages because of the way I stitch them. So that is something that I learned. But I enjoyed the full coverage. I enjoyed the projects that I started. There's 2, right? The Sleeping Dragon's Lie. It's going to take me forever, but actually I'm really happy I started it. To the extent that I'm actually thinking about starting another full coverage in April. I'm really thinking about starting this one. I don't want to have to buy anything for it, but I'm going to go through and see if I have the flosses for it. This would not be for me. It would be for either my brother or one of my nephews, or all of them, you know, to enjoy together. It just looks like it'd be fun to stitch, but it's probably not something that I would want to keep myself. If I do it on 28 count, then it's going to be like 5 by 7. It's not going to be, you know, which actually is kind of good because I could go into a 5 by 7 frame probably. So I might start that in April. I have to think about it. It's not like it's going to get done very fast, but whatever. I think that's it. I have to upload this video. It's still actually fairly early because I did get a good early start. It's only 9:30. So hopefully it'll go up fast, and then I will have my camera free and I can do my Instagram posts this afternoon. I have a lot of pictures to take because I have to take pictures of all of the January progress, and I need to take beginning photos of all of my February ones. So that's like a lot of pictures, and then I have to put them all together, and yeah, so that's a bit of a project for today. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for letting me ramble about feelings and thoughts. There's been a lot of feelings and thoughts lately with the whole Valentine's sale and my mom's passing and everything. So thank you for being there for me and letting me talk about that. Yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope the weather is doing what you want it to do. I can definitely notice that the sun is starting to set later and later, so we're going to hit that really awful period soon where the sun is setting right when I am driving home and I have to drive into it. So I don't like those few weeks, but for a while it was dark when I was driving home, and now it's not quite dark when I'm driving home, but I'm not hitting the sunset yet. So anyway, I guess that's it for this week. Now I'm just getting rambly and everything. So until I see you again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.